Williams goes in motion. Keep it on the ground, and this time, Montgomery, first down, into Green Bay territory. Opening drive of the game, 8th play here, 3rd down and 3. Hangs in the pocket, fires, caught on the run at the 25. Williams out of bounds near the 10-yard line. Jamison Williams. 1st and goal. Into the end zone. Walking in. David Montgomery for the touchdown. Matt LaFleur told us this week he's a severely underrated player. Pressure is put on. Pass has gotten away. Christian Watson with a nice move, and then he loses the ball. And for the moment, the Lions have it. And David Long recovered it. Now Goff off the play fake. Fires into traffic. And that is taken in there by the tight end, Sam Laporta.
If you are liking our video, please support us by subscribing to our channel.
3rd and 10. Goff under pressure, throwing. Crowd wants a flag. Will not get one. Jamison Williams, the intended receiver. Jack Fox to put it down. And the kick is good. 2 minutes into the 2nd quarter.
Doing a great job so far tonight.
Yeah, working with paste and glue. Nice hole over the right side and exploiting it. And there he goes for a 1st down and more is Josh Jacobs.
And it's affected him and the offensive line.
Major. But this time he has time, and he's able to complete the pass to the 28-yard line. That's Tucker Kraft. Love. Stepping up. Stepping out. Looks for the 1st down and gets it. Can he get into the end zone? Yes, he can. Jacobs for the touchdown.
Offensive line, the 2 backs, the great skill. So it's all working out for 16.
And that pass is caught at the 45-yard line, so on the move again. 1st down from the 31. Goff buys time, wide open, tight end, Laporta inside the 20. And stopped there by about 6 white shirts. You got to wind up with the right organization.
And that's true. Yep.
So 2nd down and 7. Quick flip to the right side. Laporta, look at him pull his way to the 4-yard line. Backs up, throws, touchdown to Gibbs.
To the outside in the flat. He had no chance of turning it around. That is.
If you are liking our video, please support us by subscribing to our channel. Lions clinch playoff spot with gutsy win. Jared Goff hit 13 straight passes in the 4th quarter, and the Lions converted 4 of their 5 4th downs, including a dicey one late. In a 31-31 game with 43 seconds remaining, the Lions could have kicked a field goal to take a 3-point lead. But that's, of course, not the Dan Campbell style. The Lions went for it on 4th and 1 from the Green Bay 21-yard line, and Goff was stepped on by one of his linemen, barely able to hand it to David Montgomery for a 7-yard gain. That set up Jake Bates' game-winning 35-yard field goal that sent the Lions to 12-1, winners of 11 straight, and they're now officially in the playoffs. This felt like a playoff atmosphere, and as good a Thursday nighter as you could ask for. The Packers played very well, but the Lions were just a tad better. Love got hot late, but Packers came up short. Jordan Love had trouble getting in a groove in the 1st half, but he made up for it with a strong 2nd half, completing 9 of 13 passes for 175 yards and leading 4 scoring drives in the 2nd half to erase a 10-point deficit. But the Packers burned a timeout in the 3rd quarter on a possession where they ended up punting, on 4th and 3 from their 37, which hurt them late. Christian Watson had a big game stretching the field for the Packers, but he was flagged for a costly illegal contact penalty blocking on a Josh Jacobs touchdown that was wiped out. Watson also fumbled in the 1st half after a 20-yard gain into Detroit territory. Penalties hurt them in the first half, falling behind, 17-7. Little mistakes added up all night, and against the Lions, it doesn't take much for them to beat you. Lions' shorthanded defense was game, but they are even more banged up. Detroit's defense was already down Joshua Paschal, Le'Veon Bell and DJ Reader, not to mention their 18 players on injured reserve when one of their best remaining defensive linemen, Ala McNeil, head, was ruled in the first half. It stretched the Lions' defense about as far as it could go. Pat O'Connor played a career-high 37 snaps, and was a menace. Later, Brian Branch came off the field. It was all hands on deck. The Lions allowed 4 touchdowns, but 2 of them came on short fields after an interception and a turnover on downs. Can't blame them for those 2. It wasn't pretty, and the Lions had some costly first-half penalties, and some fortunate calls that weren't made against them, but they gummed up in a really gritty effort. They forced a late 3-and-out and held Green Bay to a late field goal, and the offense took care of business.
Stuffs him.
You can't question it when he does it and it works.
Yeah, thin line between a genius and a bum. Meanwhile, Free juggles, makes the catch, and it's going to be first and goal. What a pop. Look at the way he gets up, too. Crab. Jacobs in there. Touchdown Green Bay, and they have the lead again. Followed Myers and Jenkins, the center, and the left guard, and back and forth we continue to go.
It's going to be a heck of a finish. Watch the right guard right there. What a block by Ryan. A combination with Myers taking on Martin. That really opened the hole up. He doesn't need a whole lot of room. Once he gets downhill with the power he has in those legs, no chance. And they played more zone than they would normally like to.
Start this drive. Goff slides away. Caught up at the 48-yard line. That's Tim Patrick. Hangs in the pocket. Fires. Caught. And there is St. Brown, who's been very quiet. Peyton's been selling everything since then, too. Second and 8.
Packers can beat anyone out there. Yes, Green Bay just lost a tough divisional game and watched its rivals celebrate a playoff berth. Sure, the Packers walk away bitter. There will be a few calls that went against the Packers that will be debated. But they also have to know after this game that they can go toe-to-toe with just about any team out there and match up pretty darned well. The Lions were banged up, but so were the Packers, missing key starters on both sides. I suspect one of the reasons Dan Campbell went for it late on 4th down was that he didn't want to give the ball back to Jordan Love another time. Love was starting to carve up the Lions a bit. He averaged more than 10 yards per pass attempt. The problem was that the Packers barely had the ball, running only 45 plays. The Green Bay defense couldn't hold the Lions in the red zone and on 4 out of the 5 fourth downs, but otherwise that group held together fairly well. Losses seldom are encouraging, but the Packers are a dangerous team. Goff, Johnson rally after INT, 4th down stop. The Lions built a 17-7 lead with an impressive first half, but they watched it melt away quickly as the Packers scored 2 touchdowns in the first 3+ minutes of the second half. Jared Goff was mostly good Thursday, but he forced a pass to Tim Patrick that was picked off at the Detroit 16, right after the Packers had scored on their first drive of the third quarter. Momentum swung in a huge way. But offensive coordinator Ben Johnson called a cool, smart drive for Goff, mixing in the run game and getting the Lions back in the end zone. On their next drive, Johnson called for a Jahmyr Gibbs run on 4th down that was stopped, their only 4th down failure of the night. But both he and Goff were in their bag on the go-ahead and game-winning drives. Patrick, 2 TDs, was outstanding. Dan Skipper, even with an early penalty, was terrific in Taylor Decker's place. The Lions played with their typical bravado and toughness, and their 2 main offensive minds were locked in late. Next-gen stats insight for Packers Lions, via NFL pro Christian Watson was matched up against Carlton Davis on 8 of his 19 routes, 42.1%, in Week 14, catching 3 of his 5 targets for 108 yards, 62.5% target rate. Watson was targeted just twice across his 11 other routes, 18.1% target rate. Watson recorded a 59-yard reception in the third quarter, the deepest reception by air yards, 39, allowed by Davis this season. Watson was pressed on 73.7% of all his routes against the Lions, finishing with season highs in targets, 5, receptions, 3, and yards, 94, against press coverage.
So Goff falls down as he's making the handoff, and this should seal it. They'll run the clock down, pick the field goal. What a call! Just getting it in position where Bates wanted it. Ball game. And what a game. 34-31 Lions.
Thank you. Subscribe for daily updates.